Hello everyone, here we are again, day 5 I think it is, yes, day 5 of my challenge, 10-day challenge for shifting your mindset. And again, why should we do this? Why do we need to shift our mindsets? Well, if you're in a good place, if you're happy, if you have a life that you love, and you have an outlook on life that supports you, you don't really need to shift it possibly. It's still interesting to see what we do with our words and with our thoughts, but this is mainly for people who are ready to make a little change in their life, to shift something, to find maybe a different nuance, or even just to change your whole life, to find a place where you can feel better and be happy. So this is why I'm doing this challenge, to shift your mind, because I used to have a belief system that was not very supportive and not very positive. It was actually quite destructive, and I've managed to shift this because I actually adore my life. I like being alive, and I love the opportunities, and I love exploring what my life can bring to me. That doesn't mean that I don't have days that are less so. For instance, yesterday actually I was exhausted, and I'm going to talk about that word later, but something in my body wasn't feeling right. And for those of you who are curious and perceptive, you might even see the difference between the video from yesterday and the day before. Yesterday I was sort of a little low on energy, and from my experience I know that this is passing, but I also know that there's no point trying to fight it too much. Yes, I can shift things, I can notice what I do, what is it that brings me to that point, and I did notice some things, and I can shift it, but I needed to lie down and allow myself just to rest, and so I did. And today I'm feeling much better, because I made that shift in myself, and I allowed myself to feel that way and then make the change when I was ready. So making a shift does not mean that you have to force yourself to smile and be happy and suppress your emotions, because we are humans and our emotions are there for a reason. They're telling us something, they're information. And so acknowledging your emotions and then allowing them to flow through until you can rise from them, that is natural. What we do sometimes do is we either try to suppress them so they get stuck as dense energy in our body and cause illness and pain, or we indulge in them, we get stuck in them, and sort of our life basis becomes this feeling of pain, of suppression, which is what I used to have, of course. So today the topic is words, the power of words, because our thoughts become words when we express them. And when we express these words, we manifest the thoughts, we make them reality, we confirm them. And the more we do this, the more this becomes our belief systems. And the more we repeat these words to ourselves, we strengthen our thoughts, we enhance them, we make them a reality. Now, if we can shift those words, we can also shift the way we think and the way we feel. And so there are sort of many ways of going. You can look at how you think, and then that will change your perspective and hopefully shift your words, or the way you use your words. Or you can look at your words, and that will help you to shift your thoughts. And we can go even further. How do you feel? Your words make you, your thoughts can make you feel a certain way. Your body, if you feel angry, you tense up. If you feel depressed or fearful, you will cringe. If you open up, you will open up to a new possibility of emotions, and you will allow those emotions to flow through you. Now, my challenge for you today is to make a note and ask yourself, what words do you habitually use about you, about your surroundings, your relations, your life? I'll take one example. Life is hard. Yeah, you can go around believing that, and it will be hard because you will manifest it and you will repeat that, and you will start struggling with yourself to try to, you might think that you're trying to overcome it, but you're actually probably trying to reinforce that statement because it's become a belief system. Now, that belief system can come from many places. It can be something you've been taught. It can come from an experience of hardship. It can come from something in a society, a collective belief system. But you are the only one who can shift this in you, because this is your life and you're the one closest to you and closest to living your life. So consider this. Life is hard. Now, you're stating that as a fact. If you say, because I'm not saying that you cannot talk about your emotions, because talking about your emotions is part of letting them flow through. But when you start reinforcing them or digging down into them, that's when you get stuck. And also be aware of who you talk about your emotions with. If it's somebody, when you say, oh, life is hard for me right now, they say, oh yeah, life is hard, then they're reinforcing your words and hence reinforcing your thoughts and your belief system. So sharing your emotions carefully with people who can help you to move through them is one important thing to take note of, and an important step to take. And if you have friends who only confirm the negativity, then maybe you should consider talking with different topics with them and find somebody who can help you to shift those thoughts and belief systems instead. Just a suggestion. It's up to you. You choose. Your relationships, everything in your life is your choice. So all of this is just suggestions and a little bit of a challenge for you to explore your own viewpoint here. Because emotions is emotion, so it's there to be moved. There's emotion in it. It's to move through your body. Now, the other sentence where you use life is hard is, I'm finding life really hard now. And that's not a finished sentence, because it can lead you to, and I wonder what I can learn from it, or I wonder how I can shift it, my perspective of this, or I wonder where this would lead me. I wonder how I can learn to find a different way to make life easier, lighter. You see the difference? I'm finding life hard right now doesn't confirm it to be your one and all truth. It's a statement of where you are and an opening to find the way forward, to move through. Another one, I used to stress a lot in the mornings with my son to get him to school. And we would get angry, we would get in an argument, and it would be a terrible morning. And then suddenly, I don't remember, I think I read or heard something that inspired me to think differently. Instead of saying, we've got to hurry, you'll be late. Now that is not a very constructive way of getting the boy off. He got frustrated and angry. And then I said, okay, yeah, we'll make it. Let's run. Or, yeah, let's go, we'll make it. Completely different energy. And he ran off and he made it. And in the end, he just managed to time it so he didn't have to run. But moving from that stress, because I was using the words differently. I was shifting the way I spoke, but I was also adding the energy to it, because those words gave me a different perspective. So I could add a different energy to the words. And then the last example I'm going to give is one that I've just been reading about. Mike Dooley has published a few really interesting core books about thoughts becoming things, or becoming your reality. And the one I'm reading now is Leveraging the Universe, and it has to do with partly with this, or actually mainly. And he talks about when he was young and had his first girlfriend, he was nervous about, what happens when we don't have anything to say to each other? What should we do? What should I fill it with? And then this relative came, and he was sort of repeating, "Oh, I'm so tired, I'm exhausted," and that was sort of his mantra, this uncle. And so he thought, okay, somehow he managed to suddenly make that his own mantra. So when it got silent between himself and his girlfriend, he repeated this: "Oh, I'm so tired, I'm exhausted." And after a while he realized, or she actually commented, "Why are you so tired all the time?" And he realized he was feeling tired, he was feeling exhausted, because he was making this his reality. And what he did, and this is my challenge to you, what he did, as he noticed this, as an experiment, he decided to try out a few days without saying that and see what happened. And lo and behold, his energy rose. He felt better. He stopped repeating that mantra and he started feeling more energized because it wasn't his truth. So that's the difference between, yes, if you push yourself almost too hard or pushed yourself a lot, then you're going to need rest because your body's going to need to be replenished and to have its rest, as our bodies do need to. But so that's the truth, and you can deal with it, and you can do that, and you say, "Oh, I'm tired today, I'm going to have a rest," and then that tiredness will move through. But when you use your words to manifest, to repeat that reality without it being your truth, that's when you become limited in your belief system. It limits your options to have a fulfilling, energized, joyful life. Seriously. And it's the same thing with any experience we have. Yes, we need to acknowledge our emotions, move through them, and then look for ways of rising again. Because our nature is energy and love. We are greater than our thoughts, our words, and our emotions. We are more. Our emotions are part of our experience. And I have my belief system that you can acknowledge or not, disagree with or agree with, is that we are unlimited beings in a body. And I'm going to, instead of doing a meditation today, you can look at the other, yesterday and the day before, towards the end I do a little sort of gathering yourself meditation. I'm going to offer an image to you. Now imagine that you are an unlimited being, your energy. We know that we're surrounded by energy. This has been measured. These physicists, they know this, so this is not a secret anymore. But we are unlimited to the extent that with your thought, you can go anywhere. You can go to the moon. You can go to somebody else. You can go to the past, to the future. You can extend your presence. And if you imagine, a lot of people talk about, yes, we're here in a body and we sort of radiate out, which is what the meditations from yesterday and the day before focus on. I'm going to do the opposite. And what inspired me to this is a mannet I saw in the sea yesterday. It was beautiful. It had all these strings. That was actually in one direction, but imagine the strings going around the whole mannet, and then the jellyfish, the actually see-through sort of jelly substance, and then more color, because this was an orange one that stings, and more sort of orange color, and in the center this dark blood red sort of orangey color, like a center. I imagine that you are, in essence, this huge energy around you that can go anywhere. Just imagine, go with it. Whether you believe it or not, doesn't matter, just go with it. And imagine that you come close and you, as in your essence, you're sort of part of creation. You're part of all that is beyond our physical reality as well. And then you have this body that has been manifested so that you can gather your energy into a center, like the red center of that mannet, and move from there and sense and feel and hear and smell and see things and sort of experience, explore life. Now, imagine that you've come to this earth to do this. And then imagine the adventure that you're on. You are checking out what this life is all about. And some of it feels really hard, and you forget everything about your wisdom or everything about your intuition or anything higher perspective that you might have, because you've been brought down, boom, down into this reality. But then you have the power through your thoughts and through your words to lift yourself again, to lift your perspective, to shift your words from life is hard to, oh, it feels hard right now, but where can I go to lighten it? Or even just saying it, rather than saying I'm poor, saying, wow, I'm wealthy, I've got all those beautiful things. You lift yourself so that you can go into the exploration of life instead of the victim of life. And that's my topic for tomorrow. So, which is an interesting topic in itself. And the day after that, probably worry, which is going to be really fun. Believe it or not, I'm looking forward to it. But today, notice your words. What do you repeat to yourself? Does it limit you? Is it depressive in the sense? Does it bring you down? Or do your phrases, your mantras, lift you up? Do they lift your gaze so that you can see a different perspective and move forward and rise? And I see I've got some beautiful people here. I'm glad to see you all. That was my challenge for today. The other videos from the other days are out there if you want to see them. There's some meditations there, as I said. And again, I think probably the most important one is day 3, relationship with the self. But all of this plays into that. And I hope that you take this step, that you value yourself enough to explore the way you choose to live your own life, the way you choose to think of your own life, of your opportunities, possibilities, and your beauty. You are exceptional just because you are you, and you are unique because nobody else is like you. And that was my final word for today. And I'm going to go off and have my late breakfast and have a beautiful day. We have such a beautiful summer here down in the south of Norway now. So I hope you have a nice day. And thank you, Anne Ellen. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.